I was seeing this girl for a few weeks. We'd been on 2 dates. Her name was Lana. We matched on a dating app and eventually met a few days later. She was 4 years older than me. Our first date was drinks, and our second date, we went out with my friends on a weekend. My friends had neutral opinions about her. They thought she was nice and kind of quiet. They'd later reveal their actual thoughts on her, but I'll get to that later. Lana invited me to an upcoming high school reunion party. She told me she didn't want to go alone, and honestly, after she came to hang out with my friends and me, I felt like I owed her. This reunion party was falling on a random Saturday in the fall. It wasn't organized by her school, though. She told me it was organized by this rich guy from her class and was being hosted at his house. I haven't had my high school reunion yet, but as far as I know, these things are usually held at bars or catering halls. We got to this guy's house, and it was admittedly a fancy-looking house. It had a gated driveway, but no fancy cars were parked anywhere in sight. I thought maybe the owner parked his car in the garage during the party. The second we stepped into the house, I felt like everyone was staring at us. More specifically, me. A few people came up to Lana and hugged her hello, then shifted their attention to me. I felt almost like I was being interrogated with some of the questions these people were asking me, like my whole life story, what I do for a living, who I live with. Finally, Lana pulled us away, only for us to go talk to more people, who I also felt were asking really personal and weird questions. There was also something about all the people in there. They seemed to be older looking than 27, which was the age Lana told me she was. Some of these people looked well into their 30s. I made a comment on that to Lana, and she said, "Yeah, some of these people aren't aging too well." I asked if she remembered all these people, and she said yes. I then asked who the party host was. I was curious to meet the owner of this big house. She said she hadn't seen him yet. Throughout the entirety of me being there, I felt like everybody was shooting me daggers. They wouldn't look away either. I whispered that to Lana, and she said back, "It's probably because they're wondering who I am." At the time, that was the only logical explanation I could think of, too. It's hard to explain the growing awkwardness at this party, but I can assure you, this was not what a normal high school reunion would be like. There was no music, and everyone was dressed weirdly, not like normal 27-year-olds. But that's the other thing. None of these people looked like they were in their 20s. I was getting uncomfortable with some of the stares I was getting in the room, so I told Lana, "I'm going to run to the bathroom." Realistically, I just wanted to get out of that room and explore the house a little bit. I didn't have a drink in my hand or anything to make me feel at ease. I was just walking around this giant house, empty-handed, and anyone I passed stared at me. To say I felt out of place would be the understatement of the century. I found the bathroom, stepped inside, even though I didn't have to go, locked myself in, and just sat there to catch my breath. I needed a break from the awkwardness outside. I texted all my friends about how weird this reunion was, and how I could convince Lana to leave early. We'd already been there about 20 to 30 minutes, and this unnamed mystery party host was nowhere to be seen. Lana texted me, "Where are you?" I replied, "In the bathroom. Give me a minute." Then followed it up with, "This party is really weird. I'm down to leave soon." She said, "Why?" I said, "Everyone's being weird." Then, someone knocked on the bathroom door, so I couldn't sit in there anymore. I washed my hands quickly and left the bathroom. The guy waiting outside, who looked like one of the younger ones there, said in a very low voice to me, "You should leave. That girl isn't who she says she is." I froze for a second, then said, "Lana, He said, "Whatever she told you her name is." He then asked, "What did she tell you this party was?" I said, "She told me it was a high school reunion." The guy smirked and said, "Do these people look like they're going to a high school reunion?" He left it off with, "Trust me, leave sooner than later," and then walked into the bathroom and shut the door. I almost knocked on the door to get him to come out and explain further, but I thought for a second. I was already suspicious and uncomfortable in this house, and that guy just confirmed something weird was going on here. I walked straight to the front door without drawing attention to myself. I still felt people staring at me as I walked to the door. I went straight to my car on the street and drove home. Lana texted me asking where I went. I didn't answer. When I got home, I looked up her number on white pages. That number was not associated with the name Lana. The name that came up was Ella May. The address that I picked her up at both times was also different than the address that came up on white pages, which made me realize I never saw her leave the house. She was already waiting on the sidewalk both times. I replied to her text. "I had to leave. I'm sorry," and blocked her number. My friends all made jokes and told me they thought she was weird and off from the start, but they didn't want to tell me that and make me feel bad. One friend joked that it sounded like I was in the movie Get Out. My friends and family all have little theories as to what was going on. Some people even thought I exaggerated the whole thing until I told them about the fake name the girl gave me, and the guy telling me to leave sooner than later.
For more videos, please subscribe.